welcome back everyone. Now we're getting into a little bit of stuff that we have to do for the test tomorrow. Okay, one thing that we'll have to be able to do is graphing rational expressions in vertex form. As you can see, that's what happens when you start that's what happens to you when you start doing rational graphing in vertex form. See him sleeping right there? That's what happens. Okay, thank you, Ted. I'm showing you something. All right, so we have a rational expression right here. We have 1 over x minus 3 plus 3. Okay, that's just a rational expression. That's in vertex form, which is the simplest form. Again, you can also do them with trinomials and all that kind of stuff. But right now, we're just really worried about the simplest form, so we can actually make the graph and understand where the line needs to go for each one. Okay. So, having said that, here's the actual equation to put vertex form of a rational expression. This is a formula. This is the formula for a rational expression. Okay? If you don't know what rational expression means, it basically means a fraction, a numerator and denominator of a polynomial on top and bottom. Right now, this is basically a simplified version of that. Okay? So this is the easy side. All right, so we're trying to get you to get a good understanding of that and get you going with that. Okay, so first you need to understand this. Okay, this is the form. Now, to help you graph, there's 2 things you need to know: the horizontal asymptote and the vertical asymptote. Horizontal goes this way, like with the x. The vertical goes this way with the y. Okay, so you got to be able to identify which is which, so you can get these. So it helps you graph the information. Okay, for the test. All right. So the HA, okay, is actually already given to us. You don't have to calculate anything to get this information. All you have to do is be able to identify which is which. So the HA is actually identified with the K value. See where you have the plus or minus? I have the plus or minus because that means that it's not an opposite value. It's just the value itself right there. That's why I put a plus or minus. So if it's -1, that means it's just the HA is going to be the K is going to be -1. So again, the HA is going to be dictated by this K value right here. Okay? So the K value. Okay? Or the constant value, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So in this equation, the answer right here is just 3. Okay, it equals 3. Now the VA is going to be represented by the x minus h. So that's an actual equation. So you're actually going to have to solve that. So if you remember what we talked about before of excluded values, how do we get excluded values? Excluded values is basically you're setting anything in the denominator equal to 0. So that would give you an undefined fraction. Okay, undefined fraction, because whenever you divide a 0 into anything on top, you're going to get undefined. You can do that in the calculator. You're going to get an error message. So we want to be able to set what value is going to make this denominator equal to 0. So to do that, you would just set x minus 3 equals to 0. Okay, and then solve for x. Pretty easy to do. Plus 3. Okay, and that gives you x equals, and then you go plus 3 on this side. So this cancels. And so you have 3. So my VA, which is x minus h, okay, equals 0, is going to equal 3. Okay? So now we have 3 and 3. So the VA and the HA is going to be 3. So again, we can have, if you have a trinomial, and you have, like you said, we simplified 2 trinomials, you can have 2 VAs, or 2 vertical asymptotes. Okay, those are going to be the limit points of where the graph's going to be, and I'll explain that as we go along in the process. Okay, so first I'm going to take the HA, vertical asymptote, and I'm going to take the VA and I'm going to graph what they look like and make dotted lines to show them. So the VHA is going to be 3, so that means horizontal, so that's going to go X way. So I'm going to find 3, and I'm going to kind of make that up. So just bear with me. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as you get that understanding of what we need to be. So I'm going to make a line right at 3. This is going to represent the 3 vertical limit. Okay, so that's the horizontal limit. All right, so that's the V. That is going to be the HA right here. This is the HA. Okay, 3. Now we're going to make a vertical line, so down the y-axis on 3. So I'm going to find out where 3 crosses. So remember, it's a positive side is this side. So I'm going to make a 3 right here. And we make a vertical line this way. Okay, all the way down. I'm going to make a new origin right at this point right there. So this is the VA. Okay? So as you can see, what I'm doing is kind of making a new graph. Making exactly a new graph. So I started the origin here, but now my new graph is over here. Okay? So all I have to do at this point is basically grafting information. All right? So, very easy to do. We're not going to get really involved in the A value here and moving into certain lengths. All we're basically going to do is make a rough estimate on how the graph's going to look. So the graph would basically be, at this point, remember, now it's positive in front here. So this whole value is positive, okay, right now. So what we're going to have is the graph is going to be in this point and this point, okay? And the reason why it's not just going straight across, because at this point right here on the line, this makes the equation undefined. So we can't go past this certain point here on this side. And also, if we've had the k value equals 0, or the h value equals 0, we can't go past this point as well. So again, the graphs are going to be in this quadrant and this quadrant. So usually what I do is I like to label the quadrants the graphs are going to be in. So this is one quadrant, and this is the other quadrant right here. Okay? I usually put it with dots. I'll take the VA and move it down so we can make sure that we can get this information. Okay? So, easiest way to do it. Again, I talked about 1, a half, and a quarter. I talked about that. But I really just want you to make sure that you understand where you put the graphs in. So the most important thing is you want to put the first graph right in this line, and you want to come all the way out this way. Okay? Because again, we can't go past this line and we can't go past this line. So that graph stays there. All right? And the other side is the same thing. Down this way. Like that. So, that's it. That's your graph. So all you have to do is basically understand where the HA and the VA is, solve for the value, okay? Set the VA equal to 0 and solve it, and then find out, and then put your lines where they need to go, and then again, understand exactly that positive will give you this side and this side, and you can't go past this VA line, and you can't go past this HA line, and you'll be able to make your graphs, okay? So hopefully that will help you good enough for the test tomorrow. Thank you.